Buckle up, sports fanatics. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast, your HQ for in-depth sports talk. Join host Kevin L. Warren and crew as they dissect the hottest stories, ignite debates, and bring you closer to the action. From locker room whispers to expert takes, we cover it all. It's game time, so strap in and grab a drink. The Sports Chasers Podcast starts right now.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's another edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast coming to you live and direct here on a Thursday night. Hope everybody's having a great week. Hope everybody's doing well. Hey, man, it's another Thursday where we get into sports. Hey, make sure you go to our website, sportschaserspodcast.net, where you can find everything and anything when it comes to the Sports Chasers, whether it's the podcast, whether it's the video, merchandise. I was told by my main man, Mike Bristol, to mention that, hey, go get your merchandise from Sports Chasers Podcast on the website, on the affiliate and merchandise side. Just click of the button on the right-hand side of the page. You roll down, you scroll down, you'll see all our affiliates there. You have dugout mugs. You have our merchandise. You also have BetStamp. Make sure, hey, all you bettors, man, hook up with BetStamp. So without further ado, let's talk to the crew. We only got one crew member right as of now. The DA, what's up, brother? How are you tonight, sir?
Oh, man, not complaining, man. Everything is good, man. How about yourself?
Man, I'm good, man. All is good, man. Good week of sports coming up. Last week was pretty neat, too. A lot of things to get into. I'll mention that in a little bit. You know, our Yankees clinched a playoff berth on last night. Crazy play at the plate. That was it steal a home? Was it? I know they played this afternoon, but it was
stealing home base. Yeah.
You got to be ballsy to do that, and it didn't work out for the Mariners, man. The Mariners fell off. As I reiterated a couple of episodes ago, man, they absolutely fell off. Yankees clinched a playoff berth. In fact, I got my fine little banner here, which displaying what's going on. There you go. There goes the little banner there at the bottom, displaying the Major League Baseball standings and rankings right there, man. But hey, let's get into the news. The rest of the crew will be joining us shortly. Ryan will be on shortly. And I believe Mike Mills will be joining us shortly, man. Welcome to all those that's listening on the sound of our voice on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Let me go live on Instagram. You know, it takes like 8 steps to go live on Instagram. That's for real. But it's not.
Well, you know, I know who you ask. You know?
Let me go to the Chasers weekly recap on, like I said, the Yankees, they clinched a playoff berth on last night. I believe I heard it's the 58th time in their storied franchise that they have reached the postseason. So shout out to our New York Yankees for making it to the postseason, even though the postseason has expanded since, I would say, the late 1960s, when there used to be two leagues and only 2 teams would make it, you know, and those teams would make it to the World Series, right? And then came divisional play. They went up to divisions, I believe, in 68, 69, and playoffs have expanded ever since, though. So,
yeah, wild cards, all the rest of that stuff.
Yeah, so we talked about that. Let me talk about this. This is kind of has not broke the needle, so to speak, but what's his name? I shouldn't say what's his name. Adrian Wojnarowski. He's gone. He's left ESPN. Woj is the name, the guy behind all the NBA Insider, and when it came on that, he decided to leave after a number of years. I'm bringing up the article here. Now he's going to coach at St. Bonnie's in New York, St. Bonaventure University in New York, and he's going to be the general manager there with the whole name, image, and likeness. Now, you know, universities and college universities, they need general managers, I guess, to manage the personnel when it comes to name, image, and likeness, which the student athletes, well, you know, that's what the athletes will be getting now, man. Your thoughts on Woj leaving ESPN?
We'll see if all the stuff he talked he really knew or not, you know. That's all. I thought he was coaching, but I guess he's going to be the NIL guy. We'll see what that means. Excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sure St. Bonnie's is not spending a ton of money on NIL. So, but
I only know that
what
for
it is, you have to manage it.
right. I only know that for being a basketball school. I don't even know they even have a football program. I know growing up, I remember them getting into the not the Sweet 16, but the dance. Yeah, the Bonnies. But yeah, Woj just left.
They're Atlantic 10.
They're in Atlantic 10? Okay. Gotcha. So yeah, he's leaving. He's definitely leaving that. DA, we had a good boxing match last week. What did you get from that? From Canelo and
I'm not gonna say it was Canelo has a quagmire as far as his career is concerned. Because he took a lot of years ducking some fights. And so he had like his number one contenders for years not getting fights, whether it be super middleweight, light heavy, or whatever the heck he is now. The number one contenders in all three of those divisions never got to fight him because he wouldn't fight for whatever reason. So this fight that he just had, it wasn't a great fight. He outclassed the guy. He actually knocked him out. Dude was a bigger fighter than he was. Canelo was just a lot more skilled. But as long as he continues to duck Benavidez, that's always going to be a red letter on his career because he hasn't fought. And not to say that there's been a bunch of great fighters at the super middleweight, light heavy, or whatever it was, cruiser, whatever they are. A lot of great competitors at those weight classes, but he for sure hasn't fought all the people that he could have fought over the last 5 to 10 years. Let's say 5 years. And I think that's going to hurt his career as far as being an all-time great fighter.
Right.
So he beat the guy. He was supposed to beat the guy with a hand-picked opponent for him. We'll see if he can get a fight against someone that Yeah, but he wasn't, he wasn't at his level, and you could tell by maybe the middle of the second, third round, it was like, okay, you can turn to something else. So, but we'll see what his career turns into, because again, he had some fights that he should have taken that he hasn't. He didn't fight some guys, man, and some guys have retired on him. So, as a boxer, your record is, kind of what, puts you in a place to be an all-time great, and so I don't think he's going to have that he may. I don't know. I doubt it because, he still hasn't fought the great fighters at his weight class. I mean, he fought Floyd and he lost. So, you got to figure out, what he's going to do and who he's going to be around and whatnot. So, as far as his competition, as it, kind of pans out towards the end of his days, because he is there. He is old, and it should be about it. So, I don't think he needs any money, but he definitely needs a resume-winning fight on his record. He needs one of those fights. So,
what's up next for him, you think?
It should be Benavidez. I mean, I don't know who else is even going to make any money for him. This fight last week, it grossed pretty good. It grossed pretty good, but it wasn't a great fight. So, I think he needs he needs that signature fight. That's the way I see it. He needs that signature fight before it's all over with, and there aren't a lot of guys out there to fight. So we'll see at his weight class at 154 or whatever it is, who he's willing to fight and if that fight is actually even a good fight.
Yep. Well,
but he's had a pretty good career, pretty good career. Not great.
What else is up in the boxing world? I know you and D Dubs.
Well, we're still waiting to see what Bud Crawford does I think has a fight coming up. Shakira just had hand surgery. Spencer's hitting guys at the fair. So I think anyway should be fighting someone coming up pretty soon. We just have to find a way to get these guys at the lighter weight classes to meet somewhere in the middle and have some interesting fights, right? Win, lose, or draw. For their careers, again, a great signature fight works wonders for a career. So, we'll wait and see what happens. But, these guys are in the duck game for real. Right? So dudes just are not willing to fight these good fights. So we'll see what happens. But they are in the duck game. Yeah, duck, goose. So
remember that as a kid?
Yeah. Duck, goose.
Put your head down, duck, goose.
There you go.
Anyway, that's DA with boxing. Let me go to how can I say? DA's probably gonna hate this, but he's gonna love me anyway. Sports Illustrated came out there with the 50 most influential figures in sports. So of course you got the top
women.
Hold on, let me just give you some. You got LeBron James, Tiger Woods. I'm trying to wait for Ryan to come in because I know he has something to say with this. Simone Biles, Dan Hurley, Bob Bowman, Dawn Staley, Pep Guardiola, Manchester City manager Tom Brady, Candace Parker, Lionel Messi, Emma Hayes, Patrick Mahomes, Angel Reese, Carlos Alcaraz, Asia Wilson, Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man, Max Verstappen, Paul Skeens, Scotty Scheffler, Victor Wembanyama, Travis Hunter, Conor McDavid. I'm just trying to read some of these off. Caitlin Clark, Drew Bellingham, LSU Tiger talent, Katie Ledecker, the swimmer. Go ahead.
That's this year, right?
This is this year. This came out the other day.
This year. Yeah. So I could see Angel being on there. She's had a big year as far as popularity, and she's one of the faces of her sport. I think there's probably 20 women in that sport that are, pretty much, bell cows for the WNBA. I don't have no problem with her being up there. They have to choose somebody to be on there, right? So I don't see a problem. I mean, she had a good season as a rookie, and hopefully that's the gift and the curse is, will you be that next year? So she has to get the work in to be that next year. It's a blessing that I guess that people thought she was that this year. Not to say she's the most popular, but they just said that she was one, and that's cool. I mean, it's I don't think it's a big deal. I don't even think people really even buy Sports Illustrated anymore. So it's not that big of a deal anymore as it was when we were growing up. Basically just a digital magazine at this point in time. So the reality is that, and I heard you guys were talking about it via text, but the reality is in different parts of the country, different people on the cover, right? Because they usually do it that way. So if you're in New York, it might have been, say, somebody that was with the Liberty or whatever, So it changes depending on what part of the country you're in. So I don't think it's a bad thing. The pressure is for her to stay that next year and the years after that, right? But I don't think it's a big thing. At least not to me, at least.
So
she's done for the season.
Right.
So that's it.
So that wasn't my that. So yeah, she makes it. She's influential. I think her and Caitlin Clark will be synonymous together because they came in together and the rivalry or whatever they had in college, and now that part of my problems with this list, and it's almost like the Rolling Stone list or the list when it comes to the favorite, the best MCs, and then me and you are hip hop heads, and you look at some of the lists, you're like, yo, what are they talking about? And on the TV side, so here's some of the things, and I kept looking. How come Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani is not on this list?
Wasn't for the betting So Shohei doesn't. He doesn't. He is the reluctant superstar, meaning to say that he's a superstar, but nobody wants him to be a superstar.
Oh, you're saying that
because
he's
I've said
Mike
this,
Trout?
I've been saying this for years. The reason why he's the reluctant superstar is because he's changing the finances of baseball. Because when he pitches again next year, he's going to change the game. Why would you have a dude that pitches and doesn't hit if you could have a guy that pitches and hits? Like, I would make every guy like, hey, you got to do both. Right? Because it's not like they don't exist. There's a guy in Los Angeles that does both. 50-50, 50 stolen bases, 50 home runs. He's going to, win 20 games, have 300 strikeouts. Hey, he is the one guy in Major League Baseball that is actually earning every effing dollar. It's Shohei Ohtani. Because he does both. And he's the reason why he's the reluctant superstar is because baseball really doesn't want him to be who he is. Because he's changing the game. You just go to DR and start getting kids that do both and bring them up. Because it's not like they don't do it in college. D1 college, you pitch and you hit. Right. It's just Major League Baseball where, they don't do that. Mark McGwire was famously a great pitcher in college. So, it's not like it can't happen. It can happen. It's just that people don't want that to happen because he's changing the way the finances are going to be calculated going forward in baseball.
Why is Aaron Judge not on this list?
I think Aaron Judge is because he's the MVP probably a year ago, And there's a lot of Yankee fatigue. Everybody loves us and hates us, Everybody thinks it's some type of conspiracy that we're doing, that he's playing well for whatever reason. I think he should have been on the list for sure as one of the most influential players in Major League Baseball for sure. But
not on the list.
He should be on the list.
No, I'm talking about this,
baseball.
So me and you have talked about this ad nauseum, how baseball sometimes is not even fatigued, how they consume baseball now. Baseball is not the most popular. Football is king, right? You got football, you got NBA basketball, and then I think Major League Baseball comes, and then all others, hockey and stuff. People don't like baseball. I heard a bunch of reasons why people don't like baseball. I still love baseball. I think baseball is, but I find it hard why Sports Illustrated. Another person. So they talk about media influential people. Why Pat McAfee's not on here?
Right? Because do they have any other guys that aren't playing?
No. It's so they break it up in between players, and then they go to media. And so let me break down the media. They got Michael Rubin. He looks like he owns the 76ers. You got Mark Walter, who's the chairman of the hold on, let me go to the influencers. And so they got Stephen A. Smith, your boy. They got Players Podcast. They got Kirk and Ben Herbstreit, talking about his dog. Lewis Hamilton, the F1 Formula One driver. Who else they got? They got the ESPN studio team, the WNBA team of L. Duncan, Andrea Carter, and China Ogumake. No Pat McAfee. How Pat McAfee don't make this list, bro? He's kind of flipped how things. Right. He's flipped how things are.
Yeah, he's probably rubbed some people the wrong way, cursed out his bosses. And you're not really sure what Pat Mac is in the whole ESPN of things and the popularity per se. Does he get a lot of eyeballs or is he influential? Right? Because they're not the same thing. Like, I don't believe Stephen A. Smith is influential. I just think he's on a show and gets paid a lot of money to be on the show. But I don't say him like he doesn't change the needle. He doesn't change the way people think of anything. At least not that I think of. But that's me.
I'm laughing because me and you have these conversations. People love this guy, Stephen A. Smith. He is who he is. Some people love him or hate him. He's on ESPN. He's got his show with Shannon Sharp, First Take. I just think if you're gonna say most influential, I think Pat McAfee. And like you said, you're right. It might be politics with it, where McAfee is he absolutely walks to his own beat, and he says a lot of stuff
per se.
But per se, and some people might think that. Like I said in the beginning, these lists like the best hip hop artists or the best MCs ever. These lists are opinionated. They're supposed to be opinionated. I think they're supposed to make up stirs and be controversial, so to speak, so people can be outraged about it and be mad about it, whatever the case may be. That was my only three things. The people that's on there, they're on there. That's fine. I just was saying about the baseball thing. Ohtani, Aaron Judge, and Pat McAfee. How come they're not on there as being influential? So
I don't. I have no idea how your name gets to be put on something like that, and why you would even want your name on that. But because that influence.
Go ahead, Ryan. Ryan, what's up, Ryan?
Money you're making. Go ahead, Ryan. What's up, brother?
What's up, fellas, man? I think as far as Pat McAfee goes, I think what hurts him is not his target audience or anything like that, or it's him being a punter. The only thing that hurts him, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to this type of list, you know what I mean? Like, he's a punter. You know what I'm saying? Or he was a punter.
To add to that,
mm-hmm.
Be real, like the time of day that he's on is the time of day that most people are working. Like a lot of people, I know he's getting paid, and again, he
has a huge following.
Yeah, he's probably got people that have it on per se, but influence. Like I don't know how he influenced you. I like I said, that's a term as an old man I don't really understand because there's nothing I can see on TV that's going to influence me to do anything. But I think that because he's kind of a straight shooter, right? I don't believe that he's like he'll say what he feels about a topic, but he's not saying it to influence your opinion in a way. You know what I mean? Like he's not changing the way the needle goes because he doesn't do hot takes like that. He'll talk about two teams that are playing. He'll talk about, boom, boom, boom. And they'll actually go into some like real X and O type stuff in every sport. And the things that he doesn't know well, he'll say it.
Oh, he'll bring
I don't know anything about that. Yeah, he'll bring somebody on to speak to it. So, which I hope that would be an influence that they would get more people to bring people that knew what the F they were talking about on these shows, rather than just say, "Oh, the only thing I know about hockey is that the puck is black." Like that's not, like I said. But I'm 55 years old, so the reality is there's not much that people can say that's going to influence my watching or my habits or anything. Like it's either I agree with what you said or I don't, but it doesn't, change my life either way.
Okay.
Ryan, yeah, I just think, when you say influence, what type of influence? You know what I mean? Like these are media and sports people. They're not really influence me to do anything. You know what I mean? To be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, I mean, influence. I mean, it's this whole social media crave about influencers and people who promote themselves on social media. That's when I hear about influence, that's what I think about is a social media take. And
yeah, and that's why I can never really get into it because I'm like, they don't influence me. Yeah, you said what you said. Okay, the color red is the best color. Okay, that doesn't mean I like red. It just means you like red. I for me, I wish America was influenced to a lesser extent than it is by these guys on TV. That's all. Because Kev, like we always said, when we came up watching ESPN, I didn't know who Stuart Scott's favorite team was. He just did the news. So, I don't, the fact that I know that Greeny is a diehard Jets fan and he panders to that shit is, I think, disrespectful.
Grinds your gears.
To what he does. I just think it's disrespectful because I don't think you should do that. Like, you can like the Jets all you want. I just don't believe that you should, shoehorn it into every conversation every day. That's all. No, but that's a DA thing. So,
no, we got you, Ryan. Being that you're the WNBA guy, also, the Kathy Engelbert is on this list as the WNBA commissioner, and the ladies of the ESPN studio team of the WNBA, Elle Duncan, Andrea Carter, and Shanae Ogumake.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I love the ESPN studio host with those three ladies. They're awesome, and also too they cover college women's college basketball too, and did a great job. And then they cross over to the WNBA. So no, they do an exceptional job. And they also cover the men's basketball pro game. So they're always on NBA Today, giving their takes. So they're phenomenal, man. I love what they're doing. They have great energy. You know what I'm saying? And it's I like that. I like those three.
Okay. All right. So like I said, it's all objective. Who you like sometimes, and they got Steve Ballmer up here as D's boy. They got the Detroit Lions principal owner, Sheila Ford. And it says this: it wasn't long that the Ford family was inundated with persistent calls from the Lion fans to sell the team. A loud chance that Ford Fields helped the faithful endure a 66-season championship drought. These protests have quieted over the last few years. The reason for the shift in tune. Sheila Ford Hamp, the 72-year-old great-granddaughter of Henry Ford, took over the club ownership from her mother, Martha Firestone Ford, in 2020. In her 4 years at the helm, Hemp has helped transform the Lions from a mockery into a Super Bowl contender. One of the first orders of business was hiring a general manager, Brad Holmes, and head coach Dan Campbell, who led the Lions to their first NFC championship game since 1991 last season. Hemp has converted Detroit into a football town brimming with promise. Let me say this. Shout out to the owner with that. Hey, all my peoples in Charlotte, David Tepper, you heard what I just read? You might want to do that. Hire a football person to run the team and then hire a coach. And you stay the hell out of the way. Usually works. But that's another story for the Carolina Panthers because he's probably not going to stay out the way. And Steve, your main man, Steve Ballmer is on that list, man. But that's the ESPN 50 most influential people in the world of sports. Let me go down to the other story I had here. And this is kind of like not old news, but Tua Tagovailoa, his concussion recovery explains. The Dolphins have lived with an elephant in the room since QB Tua Tagovailoa suffered a concussion on Christmas of 2022, while one hit to the head might knock a quarterback out for a week or two, almost. Tagovailoa was one hit away from questions about his NFL future, thanks to his concussion history. In week 2 this season, the moment Miami feared arrived. Tua suffered a concussion at the loss to the Bills, his third confirmed concussion in 3 seasons. In the days that followed, Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel refused to talk specifics about his quarterback timeline or the future as a whole. And then they go through what his concussion history is, his CTE, I'll just say this. Everybody's been screaming, been carrying on about, what he should do, man. I said, ultimately, man, that's up to what he wants to do. That's pretty much the bottom line when it comes to that. It's what he wants to do. And if the NFL allows it within the parameters of his contract, that's up to him, his family, and that's it. And, football, it is what it is. It's a violent sport. Let me say that one more time. It's a violent and physical sport. And as Ryan has chastised us one time before, I'm being funny. He says, God, this is supposed to be an evolving sport to make it safer. And I understand that and I get it. But still, you can try to make it safe, as safe. They got the guardian cap and all that. It's still, it's a violent sport and people tend to get hurt. And
the players know this going in. They know it's a violent sport. They know there's going to be repercussions, at the end of their careers, when they get old. They know this. But a lot of these players, man, no pun intended, I'm not trying to, but they'll go out there and die on the shield for the game, man. They love the game. You know what I'm saying? It's people who saying, hey, he should just take the money and quit. I mean, the guy's 20 to 26, 27 years old. That's what he loves to do. So if the doctors say he clear him to play, he's going to play. He's going to play. And, and that's just what it is. I mean, even if you learn how to slide and do all the other stuff that he was doing, taking judo and doing all this other stuff. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but it's a reactive game, right?
Yep.
When you're in the heat, when you're in the heat of the game, you're just reacting and not thinking. It's just that's just what it is. Like the hit wasn't even a hard hit, and even if he doesn't slide, that's not the only way for him to get hurt. He can get sacked and somebody missed a block and he gets blindsided, you know what I'm saying, and gets hit. So there's going to be risk involved in playing this game. We all know that. So if he knows that it's a violent game, period. No matter what they do to make the game safe, it's still going to be violent. It's still going to be violent. And listen, I'm all for him. If he wants to play.
Yep.
It's on him. Like you said, Kev.
Nothing you can do about it. If he, letting the doctors, they will give him their best advice. And if he says, yeah, okay, well, I want to do this anyway, then it's up to him. And if a team wants to co-sign on it, fine. But you can get a concussion, in the car. Just if you once you've had one, it's exponentially. It's easier for you to get the second, third, and fourth one. So you could just make a hard left turn, and it's because that's a concussion is basically your brain rattling up against your cranium.
Base of this cranium,
so,
correct.
And that's you can get it from any number of things, but the point I make is, if he wants to continue to play, fine. If he doesn't, then fine. So he's I think from a financial perspective, these guys now have insurance contracts and policies that they can kind of make sure things are okay. But it's up to him, man. And I got you, Mike. But listen, man, if he wants that, he wants that, right? So Junior Seau knew, but he knew if he didn't play, his great grandkids wouldn't have the money that they have today. So, it's kind of a warrior's mentality, So you're going to kind of deal with it because generations of your family are going to be okay.
Correct.
I don't have listen. This is the decision, man. I'm not even going to even a little bit try to throw my hat into his decision making. So whatever he wants to do, he can do.
Yeah, and I find that I just find it weird. You turn on the TV and some of the guys that used to play, saying that, he needs to call it quits. He needs to bow out. I was like, well, wow, that's easy for you to say. That's just definitely. Mike Mills, what's up, brother? How are you? We're talking about Tagovailoa and his concussion protocol and how he'll be out. He'll be on the injury reserve here for the next four weeks. And that's about it. What you got on that before we move on?
Man, I just, like y'all said, you can't tell him to retire, but medically, he didn't even take contact on that play. It's like he ran into homeboy chest and then he just dropped. It was instantaneous. That is not sustainable. So, I mean, if you want to play, go ahead, play. But that was crazy, especially for the kind of play it was. It wasn't like he, boom, boom, he tried to get an extra yard or anything. It was just, so I don't know. I wish him all the best, speedy recovery. But, it's on him.
Make sure you check us out on Facebook.
Part of this,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Kev. I'm sorry.
No,
the
go ahead.
Part of this that people don't talk about is that you only talk about the concussions that you know of, right? No one talks about the concussions you caught in high school, or we call, getting your bell rung, the ones you caught in college. These are all before you got quote unquote paid. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
You talk about the 3 caught in the NFL. Shit, he probably caught another 5 in high school, another 2, 3 in college. So that's just what it is. But that's what you signed up for. That's So if you are lucky enough to make it to the pros where you're getting millions of dollars to do this, at least you got a payoff. At least you got the payoff. But I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not pocket watching. However they want to do it, is how they want to do it. So.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Ryan said he will be right back. This is a very interesting story. This is definitely going to grind DA's gears. From the world of golf. Let me just read this story. DA he says, "Let them suffer." DP World Tour's pro message to John Ram and Tyrell Hatton. So this story says this: 6-time winner Jos Luton is pleased the DP World Tour has put a fight against Joe Rahm and Tyrell Hatton by rejecting Liv's Golf attempted to pay off their fines. Luton, 38, was speaking exclusively to Golf Magic ahead of this week's flagship DP World Tour event of the season at the BMW PGA Championship at Wentworth. European Ryder Cup superstars and Legion 13 duo Rahm and Hatton have been let back onto the former European Tour circuit this month as a result of having appealed their fines for competing on the breakaway Live Golf League. The decision means Rahm and Hatton can now maintain their DP World Tour membership and for the time being, at least keep their hopes of participating in Luke Donald's 2025 European Ryder Cup team alive. Both Rahm and Hatton formed a formidable partnership at the 2023 Ryder Cup, winning both of their matches together in Rome. Neither Rahm or Hatton are competing in Virginia water this week since they booked for Liv's golf season finale at the team's championship in Dallas. Both players will return to the World Tour at the Open de España next week before teeing up at Dunhill Links in October. So just basically in a nutshell, these guys, they play on the European Tour and they've been rocking with Liv and they've been getting fined by the European Tour and Liv. They've been fighting Liv to pay the fine. DA, what's your thoughts on that? Because I know how you feel about this whole
whatever, man. Dog, listen, he's gonna pay my speeding ticket for me. Mind your business. He's paying my speeding ticket. You know what I mean? So,
but that's not right. What they're doing, they're two-timing us.
It's not wrong. And that 2 times is their money. Y'all
right.
y'all can kick them out. Yeah. That's. I don't know what. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do about this. So that's where I look at it. I'm not necessarily sure what we're supposed to do about this. It is what it is. You guys have the tour. You didn't say they couldn't play in the tour. So And like Mike said, they got the bags, right? What's the problem? Ain't this America? Ain't capitalism and he ho ho he whatever it is? What's the problem, man? Let them dudes eat, man. Let them eat. Like, I'm not sure what the issue is. Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, they have absolutely had a problem with live since both the Americans and the Europeans I can see now, and that is, definitely is what it is, man. Let me move on to Major League Baseball, and as you see, we got the at the bottom of the ticket there, we got the standing scrolling. Like I said, the Yankees have clinched their playoff spot. Before I go over the I'll go over the rankings, the power rankings according to CBS. We got here as of yesterday. You got the Phillies, they're 91-61. Yeah, I see. The Yankees, they've been beating up on Seattle on the last 3 days. They're number 2. The Brewers, who clinched the National League Central, they're number 3. The Dodgers, they're number 4. The Guardians, number 5. They clinched the playoff spot also. These other teams, the San Diego Padres, they're number 6. The Arizona Diamondbacks, the National League champs from last year, they are 84-68. The Baltimore Orioles, who are 5 games behind the Yankees in the National League East, are 85-68. Houston Astros, 82-70. Funny story. They came. I saw a clip yesterday. Altuve, he fouled the ball off his foot. If you didn't see it, go watch it. Yo, dude, Altuve took his socks and shoes.
I love it.
And showed the ump. He said, yo, mi hermano, hey, que ahí. And
why are you trying? Why are you injecting yourself into this game when you don't need to be in there?
Yo, if you didn't see it, it is something to be.
I love it.
Go ahead, Mike.
I love it. Cause man, listen, these umpires be tripping. They be wilding. They be wanting to be the star of the show. So he said, you know what? Since it didn't go off my foot, let me show you how bad it didn't go off my foot.
So his foot on black and blue and red.
Yeah, like yo, he hit my foot. Like, it hit off my foot. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, and then you throw him out.
How many times?
Yeah. Oh,
how many times did the ball hit somebody's hands and the ref? Oh, it didn't hit their hands. Like, come on, Blue.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, we said it the other day. I think we had a discussion. I forgot. I've been doing a lot of shows lately. But how I think it was the other night when we did the WNBA show, and Dan brought up a point about refs in the WNBA. I said, Dan, I beg to differ. It's not just only WNBA. I said, have you looked at Angel Rodriguez? See what he's done when he was forced to retire.
Boy,
they got a whole website, man, on Instagram about.
Yo, I was on TikTok one night.
Go ahead, Mills.
Some of the calls he missed are egregious. Like, oh my God. Like, some of that stuff, the way he dropped out the zone, he strike. Like, what? Like, he's crazy.
Oh, no, it's a thing now, Michael. And these guys are there, and it's like, cool for you to burn the French fries. Like, how the fuck do you stay working at McDonald's if you keep burning the French fries? like, dog, you fired. Like, you're fired. Like, you're fired. Like, you can't stay making French fries.
Right.
Keep burning them. Come on, man. Stop. Yes, Michael. And that's what it's coming down to, fellas. You'll see. You'll start to look at the lines, and you'll see how the betting lines go. And it'll be apparent.
Well, what was that a couple years ago? The ref in the NBA, he admitted that he had some gambling connection. So, and now that all the sports leagues except betting is betting everywhere, I think D-Dubs was saying when North Carolina went live with the betting, it wasn't a station in North Carolina where every commercial looked like, hey, bet this, bet that, bet this, bet that. Hey, it's great for betting, right? You can bet, and you can bet online now. You can basically do it with your mobile device. And it's huge money. But with that said, look at what's his name brother from the Denver Nuggets, looks like he's done forever. for doing some dumb stuff for betting on his team about rebounds or something like that. So I mean, this is what you get. But I don't know how we went from Altuve to betting. But yeah, bad calls. That's what we did. All right, the Kansas City Royals. Let me resume this. 82-71 and number 10. Mike, your New York Mets, man. Yo, just give me a little bit. They turned it around.
I'm waiting for the wheels to fall off. Y'all could believe him if you want to. I've seen this movie before. I have nothing to say until the playoffs. I've seen this movie before.
They are in though, so you can't.
We got a game and a half lead over the Braves. So I've seen this movie before, man. They've blown bigger leads in less time. So I need to see it.
True.
I need to see it.
Optimist.
I'm a realist. I've never claimed to be an optimist.
No, I'm being funny, of course. Yes.
I'm like, I've never claimed to be one.
Listen, this whole second half, I can't get Mills to be like, yo, your Mets are doing. He's like, nope. He said, you can speak on it, but not me. I'm going to wait and serve.
I will say they're hitting the ball well. And not just home runs. They're hitting the ball well.
Yeah, they're moving batters over and all that stuff, man. So shout out to them. The Braves, like you said, are a game and a half right behind them. They're 83-70. Shout out to the Tigers. Tigers have turned things around. They're in the wild card race. They're 80-73. You got the Seattle Mariners, who have plunged the last couple of weeks. They're 78-75. And then in that strong American League Central, the Twins are 80-73. Then you got the Cubs, Red Sox, Cardinals, Reds, Blue Jays, Rays, Giants, Pirates, Rangers, the former the defending world champions. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. Nationals, Athletics, they're about to play their last game in Oakland, and then they'll be moving to Sacramento to play their games, and then to Oakland whenever the stadium's built. To Las Vegas whenever the stadium's built in Las Vegas. Then you got the Los Angeles Angels, Colorado Rockies, the Miami Marlins, and the god-awful Chicago White Sox, who is going to break the New York Mets record of 120 losses in the season. They are 36-117. 117. That's a lot. What'd you say?
They'll be okay. They'll be okay.
I guess they got no choice. So, Brian, I know you saw this. I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna double that because you're trying to get up. Altuve getting thrown out the other night with the.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was hilarious. He's like, I got hit on the foot. There were people in the comments saying, "Well, he ain't take his shirt off though against the Yankees."
Ooh, I didn't see that one though. Bang them garbage cans.
Hey,
bang them garbage cans.
He got hit in the chest. He didn't say that.
Right.
Get off his foot. So. Yeah, I just find it disrespectful, man.
Let me just go ahead. I'm sorry.
And everything. They just have to, shoehorn themselves into every goddamn game. Like, Blue, we didn't need to hear from you, man.
Well,
something we needed to do.
So, yeah. So let me give you some other news. Shohei Ohtani becomes the first guy ever in Major League Baseball history in a single season. He's hit 50 home runs and stolen 50 or more bases, man. He did it today against the Miami Marlins down in Miami. I'll give it to Mike Mills. What's your thoughts about Shohei Ohtani and him achieving such a feat?
It's scary what that man could do on one side of the plate. Because remember, technically, he's injured. He can't pitch right now.
No.
So it's like, technically, he's injured. Like, if that's what he can do injured, what is he going to do healthy playing both sides of the ball? So, congratulations to him.
Change the way dudes are paid.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Whenever somebody does something like that, it does reset the market.
But DA is saying that they possibly could. The money factor. Go ahead, DA, because I don't think Ryan was on when you said this. What are you thinking? How
it's gonna have scouts, GMs, or whatever go out there and find dudes that can do both, like they used to. That's all. And why pay a dude this much just to hit? We could pay you to hit and pitch. It makes sense.
That's easier said than done,
sense.
though.
Man, Brian, at every level of baseball, up until the MLB, everybody pitches and hits. College baseball, they pitch and they hit. Well, up to D1.
Right.
They pitch and they hit because they can. If they couldn't, then they wouldn't.
Right.
You only get players to do what they can do.
Right. But the key point you made was when they get to the major leagues. It's a different ball game when you get to the major leagues.
That's just because I just think that's because of the way the contracts are done. Because where Shohei comes from Japan, everybody does that shit. Everybody. Korea, everybody does that shit. Like, it's not
right, but can you do it on this level? But can you do it on this level? That's a I mean
the only way
just because he did it don't mean everybody else can do it.
Yeah, but this is the first time like they actually let it happen. They, like I said, I remember watching.
I mean, Babe Ruth pitched.
Yeah, I remember Mark. But just recently, I remember Mark McGwire pitched in college. I mean, these guys can do it. It's just the fact that when you get to the MLB, because they want to, you want to have pitchers and start games and finish games, and you want to have their own, pitchers getting paid this and so forth and so on. The reality is now you have a test case. You beta tested the shit out of this. You got a guy that can do both. And I'm not saying that he can't.
No, he's not a test case, bro. I disagree with that.
Yeah, he's a test case for the MLB.
No. He's
a test case because no one else is given a chance.
No, he's an anomaly.
They never gave another guy a chance to do it.
I believe they give him guys a chance, but you just can't do it on this level with that success. That's the thing,
shot, man. You got remember this dude never played it. He never played it. You got to remember his thing is he came over from Japan and went straight MLB. He didn't go 1A, 2A, International League, AAA. He went straight to the California Angels.
Yeah, I mean, I can say the Japan League is probably better than AAA.
So what I'm saying is, if you got a chance to see it during COVID when they started showing the Korean games early in the morning, and you would see the dudes were hitting and they were pitching. He was like, "Wow, okay." It actually, if you go down to the Dominican League, International League, they do it there. It's just that in the MLB they don't let them do it. That's all.
No, DA, I agree with you that they let them do it, but can you do it at the major league level? That's my only issue. People can do it.
The only way you'll have to see is if a guy comes up and they let him do it and he starts getting popped out to third. That's the only way you'll know it doesn't work.
Well, that's the point. You
wouldn't know with Shohei unless he couldn't pitch, right? Unless he couldn't pitch, you wouldn't have known.
No,
because like I said, he came straight from Japan.
He was dominating everywhere. Japan is probably better than the AAA
here.
Right, because
what I'm saying is the point
the Japan League is better than AAA.
He went from there to here, right?
Okay.
So they let him do it because he could do it over there, right?
You don't think
now we just have to let person B. You just have to let person B try it. I'm telling you, dude. I know.
I think he's
GMs,
one of one.
They don't want it. No, he's not one. There's no such thing of one in one.
At this level, it is because I mean,
no, it's not.
He's the only person to do it.
Let me jump.
First they let do it.
Let me jump in, right? So Major League Baseball, right? 1972, they instituted the designated hitter, right? American League, right? Pitchers didn't have to hit no more, right? I mean, right? They go out there and pitch their whatever, and they come back to the bench. They don't have to worry about hitting. The National League just implemented that a couple of years ago. where now everybody has the designated hitter role, right? I don't know, DA. Like you, so you're saying that this is just done from a financial aspect? That's what your point is? That's what I'm hearing?
What I'm saying is that the reason that it works is because it works. It won't work until it doesn't work. When he first came over, everybody was like, this ain't going to work. Until it worked. He was like, oh, shit, this dude is actually doing both. It was the first time we'd seen it on a regular basis. Because we saw it, like I said, in the National League. There was guys that, hit home runs that were pitchers, they batted nice.
Yeah, but not like this guy.
You're making my point.
Listen.
We've seen it.
No, I'm not. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying is,
I got you.
The reason why it worked is because it works. If he'd have got there and he wasn't pitching well or he wasn't hitting well, they would have stopped one of them. They would have told him to stop one of the two. But being that it worked, he gets to do both. And when he gets back to being healthy next year, guess what? He'll go back to doing both. Like I said, in this world that we live in, Ryan, there is no such thing as a one of one. There's no such thing. Believe me.
Well,
if
he's
you've seen it
he's
once,
the only one who's done it.
That means it's happened before. Well, he's the only one that's been given opportunity to do it. That's the point I'm making. If someone says, okay, dude, you can pitch.
You just said that we saw this before and they failed. You just said that.
No, I didn't say it failed. I said he's.
You did. You said once it doesn't work, then they're gonna.
That doesn't mean it hasn't happened. What I'm saying to you is this, Ryan, right? All because the National League let dudes hit, right? Because it's your pitch day and you're number 9 and you hit a home run that day. That's cool. That was expected, right? But to do it on a regular basis, the first time Major League Baseball, it was a shot given for that to happen, was the first time he came in there to do it. And it worked. So I bet you money. This is just from a monetary standpoint. Every GM out there is looking for the next guy that does that. That's all.
That's my point.
That's the guy that does it.
No, that's my point.
Doesn't mean
you don't think all this multi-billionaire these baseball teams have scouts who are not trying to find guys who can do both? There's just not any who can do it like him. Yeah, they do.
That doesn't mean it.
Listen.
But what you're saying is this, right? And this is what I understand what you're saying. But dig where you're at with this, right? So you're talking about a guy that did 50-50, right? Pitched his first year pitching and won 20-something games, right? So what I'm saying to you is, all because there isn't a guy doing it to that level doesn't mean that they can't do it. The level that you're talking about at this point in time is he is the guy that's in the league now that they've given a chance to do it. Right now, when he got hurt,
totally
they said, no more pitching. They said no more pitching for you
because he got hurt.
We'll see how it looks next year.
Right,
what I'm saying is that they don't have to let him go back. They don't have to, because what did he just do? 50 and 50. You know why he has to pitch? Because he's awesome at it. There's one thing about sports and these guys. If you're great, they're gonna find you and they're gonna put you where you can be great. That's one thing I know about scouts from any professional football league. They'll find whoever anywhere. If you're great, so I totally disagree with you. I totally disagree with you when you say today. I bet you $1,000 today that 3 years from now there'll be 3 other guys that do it.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm just saying these guys are out there. Thank you.
They're not out there, because if they're out there, they'll already be here. Because these scoutings are second to none. They'll find anybody who can, and they'll go anywhere to find talent like that. He's just great.
Are they willing to pay them what they're paying him?
If he's great, yes.
What do you get paid off?
What are you talking? If he's great,
yes. What do you get paid off of? You get paid off of what you can do, right? What's your what's the word? what's that shit called? Your what they believe you can.
What is it called?
Yeah, that's what what they believe that you can be. That's what you get paid off of. You don't get paid off of what you did, because he didn't get paid this big contract when he first got there, because he was doing this in Japan. They just wasn't paying him good. Now, once he left, once he got out of his contract was up with the Angels, the Dodgers said, "Oh, yeah, we willing to pay for this commodity. We're willing to pay for this." So they paid for it, right? Because, as you said, he's great at it.
The word you're looking for is potential.
Yeah, it's potential. So what I'm saying is that he wasn't paid off potential when he first got to the league, because he had a regular contract. He got paid off potential when he went to the fucking Dodgers. That's when they gave him the bat. He got to the Dodgers based upon what they already saw.
No, it wasn't potential. We saw it. You just said that he. You just said that he had
27. I said they paid him based on. They paid him.
You just said he. You just said he just paid him based on potential. I said no. They saw the. They already saw it. There is no potential. He is who he is.
What I'm saying, he got paid. He didn't get paid coming into the league like that. You understand that, right? He had a regular contract. It wasn't even nothing to be.
Okay.
Right? Because it's like, okay, well, let's see how this works out, right? That's what they said. The Angels, let's see how this works out. And then when it started to work out, then they're like, oh, shit. Then they said, well, we can't afford to pay him anymore. The Dodgers can. The Yankees could have. But, the A's couldn't do it, and based upon what he did. But when he first got to Major League Baseball, he had a regular contract. The beta test was the Angels said, listen, we'll see how this works out. And they were hedging that maybe it didn't work out so well. Maybe it don't work out so well. But since it did, they couldn't afford to pay him.
I mean, the guy is so good. They're talking about possibly having pitched in the playoffs. I don't know if y'all heard that. There was rumors that he might be able to pitch in the playoffs.
I did hear that.
I heard that, but that wouldn't be smart.
It wouldn't be smart, but that's how great he is. And so listen. People find greatness, man. I mean, that's just what I believe. You know what I mean? You make good points, but I just feel like scouts are always gonna find people. If there were people that could have done what he's done, could do, we've already seen it. We've already seen it. In my opinion,
that's it.
I think
that's all. That's go ahead, Cap.
No, go ahead. Now I have the last thing.
I was gonna say, I'll end on this. The price is only what the market is willing to pay for it, and any and all things. So if there are guys out there, but they may not be to that degree, or that team may not be willing to spend that money, then that's what it is, right? The Dodgers, the Yankees, maybe even the Mets, 3 big market teams were willing to all pay this man that money. And he chose to stay in the market that was more based on where he wanted to be. But what I'm saying is that they're going to find another one. He may already be in Japan. He may be in Korea. But what I'm saying is that in watching those games, to your point that, maybe that baseball is better than AAA or AA. What I'm saying is during COVID, I watched dudes that did both in the Korean League.
Yeah, right. In the Korean League, but then but it has to translate to the greatest league of them all, which is the major leagues. And that's the point I'm making. We've seen people who can pitch and can hit. That's the point I'm making.
We may have to disagree on that being the greatest league of them all, because I don't believe that. But yeah,
Well, D, you can't say that. What's the best league in the league? What's the best baseball league?
I think it's probably the best league. Yeah, but I don't think they're the world. I think the best team is the team that wins the baseball world championship.
Well, that's a different.
We're talking about something different, but basically baseball is hands down the best. It's the best of the best. People come here to play baseball,
right?
From all over the world to play that game.
Every country's best star comes to the major leagues.
Now when we have the World Baseball Classic, that's a different animal, right? That's people from Venezuela, guys that play in Puerto Rico, guys in Cuba. They come to Miami and they play this classic, which I think is great. I had the opportunity to go one time, and but that's just different. Major League Baseball.
I think it'll bear itself out in the next 3 to 4 years. That you'll see a few more dudes that can do it, and that there'll be guys willing to pay for it, because it's going to be a commodity, and it's going to be something that's, it's going to be a for real thing in the next 3 years. If you can find a guy that can do it,
I agree.
Why would you not pay him?
Right, but they just can't. That's my point. They know the guys who can do it already, but they're not going to translate and be able to do it in the major leagues. They knew this guy was going to come in and dominate. Everybody said it from the beginning. Like he was a can't. He was a can't. Everybody said he was a can't miss talent.
Let me just read this.
I think he was a good player.
Let me just read this. These are some notable Major League Baseball players that were pitchers, and they was good at the bat. So Madison Bumgarner, I think he's still playing.
Yeah.
He has a career total of 19 home runs. Zach Greinke, he has a career total of 9 home runs. Noah Syndergaard, Mike's man, 6. Michael Lorenzen, who played for the Brewers, he had a career total of 7. But I think Michael Lorenzen also changed positions. He also played another position. And then you have some guys. Yeah. They have some old-timer guys: Wes Ferrell, Bob Lemon, Warren Spahn. Back in the days, Bob Gibson, John Clarkson, Don Drysdale, Earl Wilson. Trying to see if there's some up-to-date. I just think, they just haven't had the opportunity. The way how they baby pitchers and all that stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, I think if you took those guys with 9 home runs or whatever it is, and you took those numbers out and you say, okay, well, you're going to pitch, and then it's every 5th day you in, those home run numbers will go up. Well, it may not be 50, but they definitely go.
No, it definitely won't be 50.
There,
right?
But those guys are there, right? They're already in the league and they already do it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That it's not like this is something that hasn't been seen before. That's all I'm saying. And
not to this
way
level.
The money rolls out now. It's just the way the money rolls out. It's going to look that way. But I think if you put a Noah Syndergaard in and you had him going every 5th day, he would probably pitch well, and he'd probably have 25, 30 home.
Yeah.
Because he's just that kind of athlete. And that's on the low end. So, and and just know that those athletes are out there, man. They're out there. It's just the willingness for somebody to pay for them. Because that's still, at the end of the day, it is what going to pay for it.
Baseball talk it is. DA, real quick. We're going to transition to college basketball. I'm sorry, Mike. Mike. Let me get you in on this real quick. Your thoughts on what DA was saying, and we're going to move on to college basketball. Excuse me, football.
Football. I have no thoughts. Well, I'll take that bet. You said 3 more? You think they'll have 3 more? I got $5 though. I don't got 1,000.
Yeah.
I got 5 though.
Oh, well, yeah. I think there'll be 3 more in 3 years.
Okay,
so I got 5 on that.
Okay, there's a wager between the DA and Mike Mills. And what's the bet again, Mike? You saying that there won't be 3 other Shohei Ohtani?
It won't be 3 more. It won't be 3 more in 5 years. I got 5 on it. 3 years. I got 5 on it.
Well, we'll pull it up in 3 years from what's the day? September 19th? Yeah, okay. We'll pull it up in
September 19th, 2024.
Yeah, so we'll pull it up and somebody's gonna be paying out, man. The DA, no $1,000. The man said 5. So you got 5 on it.
Yeah, that's on record. That's on recording.
Yes, sir.
Let me move on. DA, this is the you go run errands segment. What games are we watching in college football? Well, let me just run down some
Tennessee, Oklahoma. That's it. You can just cut it to chase. Tennessee, Oklahoma.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of not even Illinois, Nebraska. Well, that's Friday night. South Alabama is beating the pants of App State. It's 21-0. Got that on my screen. Yeah, DA, I think you're right. Well, what about USC Michigan? DA, that's at 3:30. You know, that's a Big Ten. That's a Big Ten matchup, first time.
Don't say that no more. It's a Big Ten matchup. That's gross.
That's
so gross.
Mike, I did that for you because I knew you was going to say something.
I got a bad taste.
Michigan's not that good. Yeah, they're not that good right now. So
don't say that. Them horns just real good. That's all. Hook them.
Yeah, hook them horns.
Horns are good.
Yeah. So they get their SEC. I guess the SEC schedule starts soon. I guess.
Utah, Oklahoma State. It's a 4 o'clock game.
It's 4 o'clock game. Yeah, I said that same too, Mike. You said Tennessee, Oklahoma, right?
I think Oklahoma State's. Yeah, I think Oklahoma State's going to beat Utah. Utah has a good defense, okay offense. Oklahoma State's a better overall team. Tennessee, Oklahoma. I got Tennessee. Probably should win that game. I think they've scored like 200 points in the first 2 games already. And their defense is probably better than their offense, which is the scariest thing for them. But we'll see what Oklahoma has, on the way in. Remember, they're new to the SEC, so we'll see how they adjust.
Okay.
And, try to get them through one recruiting cycle of SEC caliber players. So.
Mike Bristol said Miami, USF.
Yeah,
that's going to be a good game.
Mike, you can go on out to the store on that one.
Nah, USF is not bad, man.
USF Miami's really good.
No, Miami's really good.
Not bad, but Miami's really good.
Yeah.
They got on at 17 on that one.
Really? Wow. You talking about the Miami game?
Yeah.
Thoughts of Arch Manning? He's going to be starting against Louisiana Monroe this week, I guess, to give Quinn Ewers more rest from his injury.
Start this weekend.
Right? Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you say they get him some reps?
Give him some reps. No reason to play the starting quarterback.
Yeah, Ewers is not.
It's a practice game. You know what I'm saying? Let Arch get comfortable just in case Quinn get hurt again later. You know what I'm saying? Because last year Quinn missed some games during conference play. And then Murphy had to play Malik. So
it's a new conference.
He's not there this year. Right. This is a different conference. You're right. But
new conference this year.
You're right. But reps is reps, man.
Mr. Ewers will be back. But this is good for Arch. Yeah. This is really good for Arch Ball to play these games right now. I mean, he's a hell of a quarterback. So
yeah, you can definitely see that.
He already better than his uncle.
Huh? He was fast on that run.
On that run, yeah.
Other team was just real slow.
Oh, that's what it was.
Chill out. He had a little.
DAB, he had a little tonight, boy.
He is running a 4.5.
Well, to be honest though, Arch Manning is the son of Cooper, who's a wide receiver who was really good.
Yeah,
he was a wide receiver. So maybe that's where he gets his
prowess
athletic ability from. Yeah, because Cooper wasn't Peyton and Eli. Cooper has some athleticism, man. Cooper can move.
Yeah, Cooper, he was playing. I mean, he got a cup of coffee in the league. He got a cup of coffee.
Okay, so not much on the college front. Like I said, we'll talk about the NFL on our NFL Blitz show. The Jets and the Patriots, I believe they have started already.
7-zip.
7-zip. Who? Jets?
Yeah, amazingly, right? You see how you had to question that?
Because the Jets should be getting tired of getting beat down by the Pats the last 20 years. Now the Pats are in rebuilding mode, so they should win this game. So
the Pats are rebuilding, but they better than people think they are, and that's the scary.
Yeah, they actually play good defense.
Their defense is real good,
and they're committed to the run, like you guys always, you know what I'm saying, preach. They're committed to the run. They're gonna run the ball.
Gotcha.
Right.
Kind of have no choice, but
yeah, I know, right? Miami has picked up Mike's old quarterback, Huntley, right? What was his name? Huntley? Yeah. They picked him up for insurance policy. You got the Bears in Indianapolis. They play at 1. You got Denver and Tampa, Green Bay against Tennessee, Houston against Minnesota. That's going to be a real good game. Chargers against the Steelers, Giants against the Cleveland. Keep on losing, Giants. Keep on losing. Eagles at the Saints. I think that's going to be a very good game. Carolina versus Vegas. Vegas, don't mess it up now. Miami versus Seattle. Baltimore and Dallas. Mills, this your team. What's up, man? I ran into a Cowboys fan today. He doesn't think y'all going to beat them. They said, they having problems. I said, y'all have problems defensively. I don't want to hear it, man. So, what's your thoughts on Baltimore?
Yeah, but if
Dallas,
Micah Parsons is in the backfield all day, we're not going to have a chance in hell. So,
he had 2 tackles last week.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, Mike.
Listen, did you see Max Crosby?
Max Crosby.
He got back there. I did. Max Crosby. Micah's not too.
He's an actual. Max Crosby is actual. He's an actual defensive lineman. Like, he's a big boy. Michael Parsons is
right.
Like 6'3", 125-pound linebacker that really don't want all the contact. So
yeah, but our O-line is not good. So when you got a bad O-line,
got to run at him. No, got to run at him.
Yeah, our O-line is not like that this year. And we're not running the ball like we should.
I don't know why.
Why is that? I mean, you got Henry. I mean, not saying that he's going to be the workhorse back as he was before.
I think John Harbaugh's doing that thing where he think he's smarter than everybody else. And we saw it with Flacco. Like, when we won the Super Bowl with Flacco, he stopped running the ball and wanted to throw the ball and do all this crazy stuff and try to turn Flacco into the 300-yard man. So now it's time with Lamar. Yeah, we gave Lamar all this money. Let's prove that he is a quarterback, and we coached the quarterback, and we made a quarterback.
Well,
so we're going through that. So, yeah. We might pull this one out late, but I don't see it being us going out there and dominating like we should. And D-Dubs, I will slander the Jets. You better be happy I'm not slandering the Giants. Y'all deserve it. And I ain't been up here to give it to y'all, but y'all deserve it.
We lost the game where the Commanders kicked 7 field goals, and we scored 2 touchdowns, and we still lost. We signed a kicker, by the way, all the Giants fans. We signed a kicker. So who knows who goes. So, hey, like I said, we covered the NFL on the NFL Blitz on Monday nights along with college football. Hey, without further ado, y'all know what time it is. I wish I had some music for Ryan. It's the WNBA portion of the show with the NBA and WNBA insider. Mr. Ryan D'Souza. Go ahead, Ryan. What you got for us today, bro?
What's up, fellas? So breaking news. It just went down. So the Dream, Atlanta Dream, like I said, they clinched the final playoff spot. So the Atlanta Dream secured the spot. They will play the New York Liberty in the first round. The Suns, they clinched the 3rd spot, and they will play the Indiana Fever. The Connecticut Suns will play the Fever. Mystics and Sky eliminated. So it's about that time, man. Playoffs about to start. A lot of teams didn't have anything to play for today. So a lot of teams rested stars, played only like half the game. So so we got that starting on Sunday, man. So again, Dream, the 8th seed. And I'm happy for the Dream because like I said, they have Tina Charles on their vet. Like the Sky and the Mystics, they were really young squad. So I'm happy the Dream got in there. And the Atlanta Dream has an awesome fan base. They've been selling out their arenas for the last couple of years now. So they have an awesome fan base. So I'm happy for them.
They don't play at the State Farm Arena where the Hawks play. They play at a different place, correct?
Yeah, they play at a different place, a little smaller arena. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, but nevertheless, they do sell it out. Not the same arena the Hawks play.
Okay.
The old Omni. Remember the old Omni?
The old Omni, yes.
Yeah. Live at the Omni, yeah. So it's gonna be fun, man. It's playoff starts on Sunday. And it's gonna be exciting. I'm really really looking forward to the Connecticut Suns versus Indiana Fever. I believe that's going to be the matchup, because I think the Suns they clinched the 3rd spot, and I want to say that the Fever are the 3rd spot. Let me just double check that, make sure, but I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. That's going to be an intense battle. That can pretty much go either way, but I got Connecticut probably winning, going the full games. So we'll see what happens.
Gotcha. Any other side stories you got for us, Ryan, before we get out of here on the WNBA or NBA?
I'm sorry Dan's not here. I hope Dan's listening. There's rumors that DT might call it a career. She hasn't made up her mind yet. Obviously, the Suns are still in the playoff hunt. So she came out and said she doesn't want to make any rash decisions, but she knows that the end is near. So I don't know, is it the end of this year, or is she going to do it one more year? So we'll have to wait and see with that. But Diana Taurasi has come out and said that the end is near. So maybe it's one more year, maybe it's after the playoffs in this year. So we'll see with that. With the WNBA, we all know Asia's going to be unanimous MVP. As she should be. Yes. Phenomenal season. Caitlin should be the overwhelming favorite to win Rookie of the Year. Well deserved. I like Kennedy Carter for Comeback Player of the Year. She had a great season. It's and Asia might win Defensive Player of the Year as well. And shout out to Nafisa Collier. That was my actual pick for MVP this year. Was Nafisa Collier from Minnesota. That was my pick, at the start of the season. But man, any other year she would be the MVP. But Asia just had a historical season. The only player with 1,000 points in the season. Just a ridiculous stat line. And she's the heart and soul of the Aces, and they're going for the 3-peat. So let's see what happens there. So should be fun.
Gotcha.
Should be
fun.
Go ahead.
I played women's fantasy basketball this year, and I came in 3rd place. So shout out to that. Shout out to the WNBA.
I've been playing that for the last 7 years. Don't tell nobody.
This is my first year playing.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah.
Like I was watching before. Yeah, like I'm not like, we know I'm sexist a little bit. So like this is the first for me. I'm like, let me dip my toe.
Right. Yeah, I actually came 6th. I didn't even make the playoffs, man, in the league, man. It was but my brother won the league, man. And the funny thing is, he had like the whole rookie team. He had Caitlin, he had Camila Cordosa, and I traded him Angel Reese. The dumbest trade ever. I drafted Angel Reese, and and right before the season started, because I'm like, okay, she'll do all right. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think Angel was gonna have that dominant of a year, especially on the boards, get the double. She was phenomenal as well. Shout out to Angel Reese, man. Shout out to all the rookies that that played. Rika Jackson from the Sparks, Ball. So yeah, man. So Rikia Jackson, man. So yeah. So all in all, it was a great season. A lot of eyeballs. Yeah, man. So we hear the playoffs are here, and this is where you're gonna get most of the eyeballs now, right? So playoffs are where legacies are made, and hey, Indiana has a chance, man. If they can get past Connecticut in that first round, I want to say Phoenix, Indiana. Oh, hold on. If Phoenix might jump them though, so we'll wait after Phoenix's game tonight. But depending on who they play, if they can get out the first round, Indiana better not fall to that 7th spot and have to play Minnesota, or it's a wrap.
Yeah,
they're not beating Minnesota. They better not play Minnesota.
What was their record against Minnesota this year? Did they beat them this year?
I think they did beat them one game, but Nafisa Collier didn't play.
She didn't play. I remember that.
Yeah,
okay.
Collier didn't play in that game. The only game they won.
They beat the Aces now one time this year. So
yeah, they didn't beat the Aces one time. So it's locked. The Aces going to play the Atlanta Dream, and then Minnesota's going to either play Phoenix or Indiana. This is going to be a good one. The 4 and 5 matchup is going to be excellent. It's going to be the Aces versus the Storm, and
yes,
and not only that, it's a bunch. When I say a bunch, it's a bunch of number 1 picks in that series. I want the Aces have like 4 number 1 overall picks, and I want to say the Storm have like 3 or maybe 2. So it's some talent, man, in that series, and that series that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. So yeah, man. So I'm happy it's here. And we're gonna have fun with it, man. So we'll see what happens.
Definitely a fun time. Also, I don't remember. I can't remember if you did mention. You might have mentioned. And this came out a couple of hours ago. The Rockets owner, what's that? Tillman Fertitta, looking like he's trying to
Fertitta. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. It was rumored. Obviously, I'm a huge Rockets fan. Huge Comets fan. The 4-time back-to-back champions. They won the first 4 championships with Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, Cynthia Cooper. You know what I'm saying? So that was like the first dynasty ever, and for them to lose that team and that team go away, that kind of hurt the league too as well, because now people are looking like how your team, who's a dynasty, who won the 4 first championships, how you lose them? You know what I mean? So, and the old owner, kind of, Leslie Alexander was kind of cheap with, but Fertitta, it's been rumors for the last 2-3 years that he wanted to bring them back, and now that you see the uptick in viewership and things of that nature, so now he's trying to bring them back, and rightfully so, man. The Comets deserve to be back in the league. We got Portland coming. We got Golden State coming. And what's the other one? Portland, Golden State, Toronto, all coming.
Yeah,
so it's So Toronto, Portland, and Golden State. So that's 15. So if you add Houston, that'll make it 16. So I'm hoping for that to happen. Can't wait for that, man. So
do you think, let me just be the devil's advocate, do you think this might be a little bit too much expansion too soon? Your opinion?
No.
Okay.
No, because here's why, right? Because when you had them under the umbrella of the NBA teams, right?
Right.
They weren't making these numbers, right?
No.
As far as viewership and things of that nature. So you got to build while you got to strike while the iron's hot. Correct. So and it's in the works, and not only that too, man. Remember the problem that the league has with all these top picks not even making the team. So now you add a potential of 4 more teams, right? It's only going to make the product better. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a watering down of the product. Okay,
that's
a great point.
No. Yeah, it's no, because there's so many players who can finally make a roster now and get minutes and show their talent, and like we said, the young lady that used to play for the Dream that played for Canada, she wasn't even on the squad and she balled out. Not for Canada, France. For France, yes. My bad, Canada, no. My bad. For France. And she just got, signed by Seattle Storm, and she's in the starting lineup, as soon as she got there. So yeah, man, it would be awesome for the league. And not only that too, man, getting the Comets back would just be, it'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. Especially, and like I said, I'm a little biased because, I'm diehard Houston Rockets, Houston Comets. So, hopefully that happens. Hopefully that happens. It's not a lock. It's not a lock, but hopefully that happens.
Well, maybe
after got some money.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Fertitta's got money. So
okay.
Fertitta's.
So Yeah, so you're saying he's not like what did Dan say the other day? He's not the cheap owner like the Bengals owner.
Yeah, now he's good. I think they made money when they sold UFC. So yeah, I mean they're good.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
The Jets are up 14-0 on the Pats. Go ahead, Brian.
Also, I just got the schedule for the WNBA playoffs. I got the schedule right here. All 4 games are on Sunday, starting at 1:00. Atlanta Dream at the New York Liberty at 1:00. Then we do have Indiana at Connecticut at 3 p.m. Then Phoenix at Minnesota at 5 p.m. and then Seattle at the Aces 10 p.m. So it's gonna be a fun Sunday, fellas.
A lot of turning and channel surfing, so to speak. I heard somebody the other day that was talking about how
it's all hold on, Kevin. It's all on ESPN and ABC. ESPN has the 3 games. The only game that's on ABC on network is Indiana and Connecticut. So yeah, so absolutely, rightfully so. But then ESPN has all the other games. So 1:00, 3:00, 5:00, and then 10:00 on Sunday. It's gonna be a fun day.
I heard a guy on the radio and he was saying, how does the WNBA put up games against the NFL? I'm saying to myself easily. I says, because those that want to watch, they'll watch. And your team, like my team, I watched the red zone now. That's how much the Giants suck. So I watched the red zone.
Right. I haven't watched the game.
And I absolutely peak. Go back and forth and been peeking at the WNBA. So I think the WNBA is in the sweet. Listen, football, yeah, we all know it's king, whatever. But those that want to watch, they're gonna watch. They're gonna go to the games to the WNBA, and kudos to them for capitalizing on all this momentum, because that's what we're gonna call it. That they have gained in the last year. Hey, like I said, we have had couple of standalone shows just about the WNBA, which is crazy. But thanks to you, thanks to Eric. Thanks to Dan, our new WNBA guy, the hockey dude. That's funny. Talking about the WNBA. Hey, you two guys got to get me also on the WNBA fantasy. I think that's great. Mike, how long you say you've been playing?
We'll do a Sports Chasers league.
Yes, we'll do a Sports Chasers league. Good idea, Ryan.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Do a Sports Chasers league.
Yeah,
great idea.
Hey, DA, did DA say something?
Yeah,
he huffing and puffing. He be all right.
We'll get Ron to run the game for him, man. Yeah. But they're just taking it. That's good that they're getting some momentum. They're getting some expansion, and kudos to them. Kudos to the commissioner of the league, trying to do it. And like Ryan, like you said, now that they're kind of not with the NBA teams, the parent teams, where they can be able to kind of be on their own, so to speak. They're able to do some things, man. So
there's still partnerships there, and there's still umbrella there.
There's some partnerships
to an extent.
Okay,
to an extent. Yeah, but it's not where it was years ago when, like I said, when the Comets folded. The Miami Soul folded.
Charlotte Sting. I went to a bunch of Charlotte Sting games.
Yeah, man. Because the owners of that team said, listen, and the thing with them, they really don't fold. They just go to a different new city, right? Except for Houston. Mm-hmm. Houston didn't go to a different city because for instance, San Antonio is the Las Vegas Aces.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah. So you have that.
Oh, the Charlotte Sting was owned by what's my man? BET at the time when the Bobcats.
Bob Johnson.
Yeah, Bob Johnson. Yeah.
Shout out to my frat, Bob Johnson. Shout out to Bob Johnson. Yeah.
Party shots as we get out of here. I'll start with Mike Mills. Mike Mills, what you got for us before we gonna get on out of here, sir?
Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to everybody that couldn't make it. And that's about it.
Okay. Got you. The DA, what you got for us, sir?
Everybody have a great weekend. Great basketball, great football, NFL. One or two good college games. And baseball playoffs, man. You know,
right around the corner.
Like Donkey Kong. So
let's go, Stros.
Let's go, Stros. Stros are first place in the American League West. Should be clinching here in a little bit. Shout out to all those in the comments. Thank you so much, Debbie, Mike, D-Dubs couldn't be with us. The Angry One, my mother, Vanessa. Thank you. All those on Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Without you, none of this is possible, man. Without the viewership, we're gonna keep on trucking it and doing what it's doing. What you got for us, Ryan?
None. All I got for you is Sunday all day. Watch your football. Watch your red zone. You know what I'm saying? Tune in. Go to ABC. Go to ESPN. 1:00 Atlanta Dream versus the New York Liberty at 1:00. Indiana Fever versus the Connecticut Sun at 3 p.m. on ABC. Then you got Phoenix at Minnesota at 5 on ESPN. Then you got the Seattle Storm versus the Las Vegas Aces looking to go back to back to back at 10 p.m. on ESPN. Let's go.
That's what's up. I think I'm going to have that box on my screen. I'm going to have one of them showing and the other one silent as I watch it, man. So yeah, very, very good time of the year. Like I said, you got the baseball players about to heat up here. I think there's 10 more games left in the seasons for baseball. Football, NFL week 3, college football week 4. That's going on. WNBA, shout out to that, and hockey and the NBA is about to start up, and a lot of things to get into, man. So that's my part of the shots, man. I ain't got nothing heavy. Hopefully everybody have a great and safe weekend, man. Enjoy your sports. And hey, just be kind and cool with one another. So listen, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin O'Warren, your host and moderator. For the DA, for Mike Mills, for Ryan D'Souza, and all the rest of the guys, for Dan, for who else? D-Dubs, and did I say everybody? Dan, D-Dubs, and the Angry One. Yo, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good, be great. And have a blessed one, man. We holler at y'all later. Peace. See y'all Monday night. Later.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Sports Chasers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms and connect with us on all social media channels for exclusive content and updates. We'd also love for you to join the conversation, share your thoughts, and become part of the Sports Chasers community. And remember to tune in next time for some more real sports talk. Until then, stay frosty.